So we got some good questions. Because now that the NFL draft is done, the rookie rankings are finalized, and there's not a lot to go on until spring camp, spring training, rookie camp, etc. So we are now in the heart of dynasty rookie drafts. So I figured we'd take a little time to answer some questions. Mostly guys in a league I'm in, so this is going to give away my advantage possibly if they listen, but asking questions about other leagues. And now I apologize, guys, that this will be a little late to help you guys out, but it might help out other listeners. So the first question that I thought was pretty intriguing was, who do you draft at number 2 in the second round? So not two overall, 202. The questions was wide receiver out of Indianapolis, Josh Downs, tight end for the Raiders, Mike Mayer, or running back for the Titans, Tajay Spears. Do you have any thoughts on this? Because this is pretty interesting. It's three different positions, so it can be hard to judge value, especially in a dynasty rookie draft where you're projecting now versus later.
Well, my golden rule for choosing between positions is assuming that the value is close to equal, then you want to default to whatever your scoring system is advantaged by generally. Josh Downs, Mike Mayer, and Tajay Spears. I like Mike Meyer's ability to get onto the field earlier because he's such a good blocker. So he may not have that year or three delay in getting up to speed the way you often see from tight ends. Tajay Spears appears to be the heir apparent to Derrick Henry whenever that's going to happen, but it's a running back, so time is ticking. Josh Downs, the wide receiver is kind of the happy medium. He checks a lot of boxes. I'm not sure if he's going to be elite. He's not the ideal height guy. He's more of the slot receiver. Is that right?
Yeah, and I think he projects as the slot because they already got big-bodied wide receivers on the outside, Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce.
Yeah, and Pittman especially is very good. So if you're in a full PPR, then Josh Downs is advantaged because he's going to get a lot of those dump off over the middle if the offense is designed to actually feed those those kinds of routes. If this ends up being a Baltimore Ravens style offense, then Josh Downs looks a whole lot less appealing, which they very well might do because Toolsy Richardson is an incredibly gifted runner.
Yeah, so I think his best bet will be if Richardson basically turns him into the check down slot or tight end type, like he uses him like a Mark Andrews, where he's hitting Josh Downs over the middle, or when he's under duress when he can't find a running lane. My personal take is with these three guys, I think Mayer and Downs are going to run similar routes. Mayer has a cleaner path to the field, and it's not hard to see him as the number one overall prospect at his position. And even though it's not a tight end premium league, I still think it's a position where a standout has more value. So both Mayer and Josh Downs are getting 8 catches a game underneath. Mayer is going to be more valuable just on the position he plays. So I like Mayer number one overall of those three. What I like about Tajay Spears in a dynasty league, I had Darrington Evans for a couple of years who ended up doing literally nothing. I got him for a fourth round pick, and I thought he was going to be the heir apparent to Derrick Henry. Well, I got a lot of offers for him, even though he never did anything. A lot of people just want to handcuff Derrick Henry. They project him to be the guy, and I should have traded him. Well, now we're 2, 3 years older with Derrick Henry with another 1,000 carries under him. So it is more likely Tajay Spears has that value upside. If Derrick Henry goes down, he's more likely to go down now than he was 2 years ago. And I think Tajay Spears projects as a better bell cow back than Darrington Evans ever did. He was a speed guy that couldn't stay healthy. So it's really preference. Personally, I like Mayer the best. I think Downs has the highest floor, but he is competing for snaps with targets with three other receivers. Also, we don't know what his quarterback's going to look like. He might be more of a pull the ball down and run versus Jimmy G, who's just going to hit Mayer over the middle, which we've seen him do with George Kittle.
Yeah, the only other thing I would add is in Dynasty, you also have to consider where your team is in your championship pedigree? Are you building up or are you trying to win now? If you are trying to win now, Tajay Spears has, or rather not this year, but in the near future, Tajay Spears has added appeal because running backs are usually harder to come by and the ceiling is higher. If
Yes.
you are looking to win 3, 4 years from now, Meyer or Downs are probably the choices.
That's a great point. I agree with that. And also, just what's the roster makeup? Generally, you want to go for best player available anyway, no matter what. But sometimes you might be very desperate for a running back. I mean, I started a year playing Matt Breida as my wide running back too, because I just had nobody left. So people could, that can factor into what people are doing.
This is Joe Smith from the Midwest Football Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. It all helps us grow our show. Look for our full show, too, anywhere you find podcasts. Links below.